Sumerian texts revealed 8 intelligent beings that came to Earth and ruled for a total of 241,200 years. The clay tablets of this unique text, the Sumerian king list, is 4,000 years old and was found by German-American scholar Hermann Helmprecht at the beginning of the 20th century. The most controversial ancient Sumerian text reveals a list of 8 ancient kings that are also known as gods, who descended from the sky and who ruled for over 200,000 years. So they came from out of our earth. Now, according to the text, before the Great Flood, a group of 8 intelligent beings ruled over Mesopotamia for a period of 241,200 years. The Sumerians were one of the ancient advanced civilizations that lived around 7,000 years ago in Mesopotamia between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which later became Babylon and is now Iraq and Syria. Now, many artifacts have been recovered from the ancient site of Sumerians in Iraq, but the most intriguing was the manuscript that recorded the listing of Sumer kings and their reign lengths. The clay tablet of this unique text is 4,000 years old, found by German-American scholar Hermann Helmprecht, beginning of 20th century. Helmprecht found at least 18 such cuneiform tablets from 2017 to 1794 BC. They were not identical, but they shared the information that is believed to have been taken from a single source of Sumerian history. There are more than a dozen copies of Sumerian king lists found in Babylon, Susa of Persia and Assyria, and the Royal Library of Nineveh from the 7th century BC. The list, composed in the Sumerian language, consists of the names of numerous generations, kings who ruled ancient Mesopotamia, and also shared their details of their supposed length and location of the kingship. Along with the list, the text also includes the events of the Great Flood, traditions, tales of Gilgamesh, and stories of antediluvian rulers. The Sumerian list before the flood says, quote, "After the kingship descended from earth, the kingship was in Eridu. In Eridu, Alulim became king. He ruled for 28,800 years. Alaljar ruled for 36,000 years. 2 kings, they ruled for 64,800 years. Then Eridu fell, and the kingship was taken to Bad Tibira. In Bad Tibira, Enmen-Luana ruled for 43,200 years. Enmen-Gal-Ana ruled for 28,800 years. Dumuzid, the shepherd, ruled for 36,000 years. 3 kings, they ruled for 108,000 years. Then Bad Tibira fell, and the kingship was taken to Larag. In Larag, En-Sipad Zid Ana ruled for 28,800 years. 1 king, he ruled for 28,800 years. Then Larag fell, and the kingship was taken to Zimbir. In Zimbir, En-Mendur Ana became king. He ruled for 21,000 years. 1 king, he ruled for 21,000 years. Then Zimbir fell, and the kingship was taken to Shurupag. In Shurupag, Ubara Tutu became king. He ruled for 18,600 years. 1 king ruled for 18,600 years. In total, 5 cities, 8 kings. They ruled for 241,200 years, and then the flood swept over. So how could the 8 kings rule the earth for 241,200 years? There was a great discussion on the long tenure of the early kings. The list mentioned some mythical and legendary figures such as Etana, Lugal, Banda, and Gilgamesh, who reigned for an implausible period of time. Some believe that they were indeed gods who had a longer lifespan than earthly beings. There's also a list of the rules and their kingship after the flood, the rulers after the flood. For many years, people believed that the history of the 8 Sumerian kings and their implausible kingship, the Great Flood, and their replacement was another set of kings, with another set of kings after the flood were just Sumerians interpreting of mythological stories. At the same time, some researchers and authors dismissed this theory and suggested that this list cannot be a myth. They stated recognizing some of the kings mentioned in the list. Interestingly, some scholars found striking similarities between the Sumerian king list and the Book of Genesis. For example, likewise, the list discussed the 8 kings that ruled for generations. Before the flood, there was also mentioned about 8 generations that existed between Adam and Noah before the great destruction of the great flood. And then the flood, the longevity after that decreased. The Sumerian list the mystery still baffles historians as it shares some perplexing facts that relate to the actual events. What if the list tells us the correct information and the heavenly gods really lived and ruled for such a long period of time? What if they possess the technology to increase life expectancy and become immortal? This is on Collective Spark by Vicky Vermahausen-Wise. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box